Joining me right now, AccuWeather long-range expert, meteorologist Joe Lundberg. The crystal ball, plenty to talk about as we get beyond Thanksgiving.
Yep.
But let's go back and review the tape from last week.
All right. This one in here is going to pick up a lot of moisture from the Gulf of America, and that's going to lead to areas of rain and thunderstorm activity. There's a threat for severe weather. The big ticket item, though, is the heavy rain potential. You basically going to have a front that gets stalled in this area, and waves come along it, and there's a flash flood risk, and again, that severe weather risk as well.
And Joe, the rain not quite getting up toward the Chicago area, but one of the cities that you highlighted for heavy rain, Dallas, got inundated yesterday.
Yeah, that and even parts of the hill country has seen quite a bit of rain. That is going to be moving away. One of the big things about the period post-Thanksgiving, we're not talking about the beginning of next week, after Thanksgiving, is this one right here. There's going to be a lot more cold air on the playing field. A front will come through the east on Thanksgiving Day, and the cold air is going to follow it. There's probably going to be some lake effect snow with that. Looks like some late weekend moisture starts to return to the Gulf Coast, and another storm is going to head for California. You know, we're not done yet. This could be one of the wettest Novembers we've ever seen in Los Angeles. And here's the picture for late next week. You'll notice this gradual dip in the jet stream. It's not all that deep. If it were deeper like this little feature here along the front that comes off the East Coast could be more of a problem. Right now, it looks like the westerlies pushed that out to sea, and it's not a big deal. However, with this cold air coming in, guess what? You're probably going to have some lake effect snow around the Great Lakes later Thursday and especially Friday and even to Saturday. Keep an eye, though, on that feature that you see off the northwest coast. That's the late weekend storm for the West Coast.
Now, Joe, as we get into the first week of December, everybody's been asking, when is winter coming? When are we going to start to get snow? Well, the first thing you have to do is build the cold. And it appears as though we're going to start doing that from the plains toward the lakes in New England.
Remember that feature I talked about that storm for the West Coast? Hidden beneath that, there's going to be a lot of Arctic air building in Western Canada. I think that starts to come down into Montana, the Dakotas, by the end of next weekend. And in the first week of December, that spreads south and then east. Now, it'll be diluted in nature as it tries to come into the eastern part of the U.S., but there'll be these ripples of low pressure. Anytime you've got one of these storms that go by, it tries to pull the warm air up, but with all this cold air, somebody's going to get some snow. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I just think there's going to be snow in this pattern that starts to get laid down across the Dakotas and Minnesota and into the parts of northern New England, and eventually that's probably going to come farther south. In fact, if we look at the first weekend of December, there's concern that a system comes out of the southwest of the U.S., works its way eastward, and another Arctic air mass spreads south and east. And if the two can get together in some way, there could be a big storm to concern about. Even if they don't, again, that Arctic air mass is really going to be spreading eastward. So look for cold to grow as we go into the first weeks of December. And dare I say, the opportunity for a white Christmas is higher than it's been in recent years, Bernie.
I was just going to say it, Joe. You read my mind. AccuWeather long-range expert, the crystal ball meteorologist, Joe Lundberg. Stay with us.